A lot of you guys watching videos on this channel are considering potentially buying your first or next condo as a home. Now, you may work somewhere around the city, around downtown Boston, maybe you're, maybe you're 10, 15 minutes out, but you're starting to consider, okay, like where do I actually, if I'm gonna buy a place, where do I want it to be, right? Do I want it to be the city? Do I want it to be a little bit outside? Do I want to go to the burbs? So what I thought I would do in this video is talk about some of the most popular pockets around the Boston area that I see, people buying their first or maybe second or third condos kind of really think about. And we'll talk about it from a perspective of how to filter down your preferences and also how to be strategic about your choices so that you can maximize your investment. And we're gonna get after it right now. What's going on, guys? My name is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, two super quick things. Number one, if this is your first time on my channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. I'm putting out videos all the time, talking all about living in Boston, understanding neighborhoods, buying your homes, investing in real estate, and everything in between. So if that's the kind of content you're looking for, make sure you subscribe. And number two, guys, if you guys are thinking about making any sort of move, right, whether you're buying, selling, investing in real estate around the Boston area, me and my team love getting calls from you guys watching these videos. I mean, we literally get calls from you guys every single week. So if you're even thinking about making a move, hit us up, have a conversation with us, and we'll help you think through it and see what makes sense. So hit us up. So with that, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of the video. And before we jump into the actual list of the most popular neighborhoods I see people kind of thinking about for the condo purchase, let's actually quickly talk about a few key filters you should apply to help you think through this process, right? And let's start with kind of filter number one that you should think about. And I've got my list right here. And first of all is personal preferences from a lifestyle perspective and like a work perspective, right? So here's what I mean, right? Like, if you're thinking about, all right, where do I want to actually live? First of all, where do you want to be, right? Like some people want to be in the city. They want to be maybe in the South End, the Back Bay, maybe Southie, Fenway, right? So do you want to be in the city, or do you want to be somewhere maybe a little bit quieter? Maybe like a Somerville, a Cambridge, a JP is really popular. Do you want to be a little bit further out into the burbs, right? So that could be like a Watertown, a Waltham, maybe you're going to like Medford, right? So really figure out what kind of energy do I want? That's important, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to live in this place, so you want to make sure you feel comfortable. So what kind of energy do you want? What kind of scene do you want? Do you want to be somewhere quiet? Obviously, a lot of people these days are, have some sort of partial work from home kind of thing going on, right? So you might be working from home 2 to 3 times a week, maybe commuting into the office 2 to 3 times a week. So make sure you account for that, right? I mean, if your office is downtown and you don't want to drive in, it might be important to be next to a T-stop. If your office is like way out west, I've got a lot of people reaching out that have had like offices in like the Natick, Framingham, Marlborough area. Maybe you want to be somewhere that's kind of close and convenient to get on the pike or, any sort of highway. So really make sure you think through what's important to you and what's going to be convenient to you so that you're happy with your decision. The second filter then you want to apply, and this is now we're going to kind of get a little bit more into the strategic and financial part of this, is obviously, even if you're not in real estate, you see that there is a ton of projects going on, right? And I don't mean just like small developments, like I'm talking about like mega developments, right? There's a lot of capital chasing these projects, and a lot of people, even though they're buying a home for themselves, they want to invest in the areas where there's a lot of development going on, right? Because there's probably some upside on appreciation, on both the value side, on the rent side, right? So you really want to be strategic and figure out, okay, like what are the projects that I've heard about or I think are really cool that can transform neighborhoods? Because if I buy my unit there, I can kind of be on that wave, right? Now, if you haven't seen my videos on this kind of topic before, I've done plenty of videos talking about specific neighborhoods and the projects there's, that they have going on, like the really big ones, right? But let me give you a quick rundown of some of the, some example projects that you want to think about, right? So, for example, right, in Somerville, the big project that everyone's talking about is USQ in Union Square. I mean, that is a absolute mega project that I think is going to completely change the area. Everett, you've got a ton of commercial development all around. I mean, obviously we have the casino, but now there's going to be, you know, they're talking about entertainment districts. There's some mega commercial multifamily going on, right? There's a lot of projects going on. Southie got some monster projects going on. The L Street, the old power plant L Street redevelopment is going to be a game changer. You know, the whole area by Andrew Square and Old Colony Ave is going through major transformations, along with Washington. You know, Washington Village is a key project there. Dorchester, right? Ton of projects. Dot block, you know, the big one that's been making waves recently has been Dorchester Bay City, right? I mean, it's not fully approved yet, but you know, that is gonna be a game changer of a project. And then maybe even you can consider like East Boston Revere, right? Because they have the Suffolk Downs projects going on. So, you know, all these projects that are listed, these are not just like mom and pop small developments. Like, these are multi-million, if not billion-dollar projects, right? I mean, these are huge transformations of areas, and that's the kind of projects you really want to pay attention to. So given all of that, now let's kind of go through my list. I'll kind of list off some of the most popular areas, again, that I get pinged about from potential condo buyers in terms of like the most popular areas that people consider, right? So we're kind of, you know, we're a little bit all over the place. We'll start a little bit closer to the city. So in the city, Southie, right? Huge, very popular. I mentioned the development that's going on here. From a lifestyle perspective, of course, people love being close to the city, ton of restaurant and bar activity. You've got the ocean. I live in Southie. I love it, right? So maybe I'm a little biased, but Southie's definitely a big one. Eastie is another big one. So East Boston is very commuter friendly, right? It's got the Blue Line, ton of development going on there. You know, Jeffreys Point and Maverick have really developed over the last number of years. Ton of restaurant, bars. You know, you got like Tall Ship, the Cider House. There's just a lot going on, a lot to do. Great neighborhood. Another one in the city, Dorchester, very popular. You know, it's a little bit of a price step down from something like Southie, but again, very close to it. You're getting some huge projects there. There are still plenty of restaurants and bars. A lot of people live there. Absolutely love it. Now, if we go a little bit outside the city, right, we're starting to get to areas like Somerville, Cambridge. Of course, very popular. And usually I see people that don't want to be right in the city really considering Somerville, Cambridge, right? So like a lot of people that maybe rent in the city now and then maybe are a little tired and want a little bit less chaos in their life. You know, they might consider something like Somerville, Cambridge. If you don't know them, great restaurant bar scenes. Great transportation options throughout. I mean, just amazing neighborhoods, right? I mean, they got so much going on, so much character. So people really love the Somerville, Cambridges of the world. And then as we kind of, you know, and then there's kind of more of the exterior neighborhoods outside of that, right? So now we're kind of talking maybe, you know, 15, 20 minutes outside the city. You know, areas like Watertown, Waltham. A lot of people are starting to get really interested in those. You know, they're a little further outside the city, but a little bit more suburban, but very quiet. They still have, you know, great restaurant scenes. Watertown in particular has massive projects, right? The Arsenal Yards projects is gonna be huge. So all of East Watertown, I think, is gonna transform. You know, if you go kind of a little bit more north, get a lot of questions about areas like Medford, Everett, Malden, right? Very popular, starting to become very popular as well. A lot of big condo projects coming down the pipeline there, so you can kind of, you know, you can grab condos there. But Malden and Everett, ton of development, as I've already talked about. Malden does have the transportation. Medford does have some transportation options as well. Also very quiet, a little bit of a suburban feel, but not too far from the city. So, you know, I just kind of rattled off a lot of different options for you guys to think about. But that's kind of the list that, you know, I probably get pinged about the most, especially from you guys, again, that are looking for your first, maybe second condos. These are the neighborhoods that I get a lot of questions about. People want to figure them out. Are those the right areas for them? Again, from a lifestyle perspective, from a financial perspective. So hopefully that makes sense. I know I gave you guys a lot to chew on. If you have any sort of questions about any of these areas or how to think about these areas, make sure you hit up me and my team or drop some comments below in the videos, and we will definitely help you out.